We're going to show you where the equipment goes, show you where the trucks go, show you where you're going to be working. We're going to show you our mission, our vision, our goals. We're going to sit you down and go through PowerPoints to explain to you that you are important and part of our team, and that we can't do what we're doing without you. And although you're working for us, I'm here to work for you and to serve you and to put you first. What's going on, guys? It's Will Kelly with Military Lawn Cuts, and in today's video what we are going to be talking about is our exact hiring process for how we take a candidate through the entire system and the entire process to hopefully allow you to get better at hiring and just the onboarding process. Now, the whole reason for this video, before I jump into this, is myself, my wife and I, so we own two lawn care companies in Texas, and we also host a local mastermind meeting for other lawn care business owners. Shout out to anybody here who's watching that joins the meetings. Completely free mastermind, local guys, we get together and we just help each other out. And there's two questions that we always ask at the beginning of each mastermind meeting, and basically, actually, I guess it's one question, but it's two parts to the question, and it's what went really well over the last 30 days in your business, and what was your biggest struggle over the last 30 days in your business. And we've been doing this now for about 3 months, and I have found that like 75% of the struggles and the issues all come down to either A, employees, or B, not having enough employees. So my thought process was, okay, if everybody is struggling with this issue, I need to do a video and hopefully share our process, because I feel like after 4 years of doing hundreds of interviews that we may have some value to bring to you guys. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm literally, this is off the whim, going to write down and talk and explain why we do every step in the process from start to finish. Okay, so number one, sorry, I'm going to use actually the green marker because green is good, and this is the good process. Okay, so number one is actually getting some kind of ad out there. Now, what we use specifically is typically Indeed. Indeed is a really good source that we use. We do the paid or the sponsored version. Typically, we only do $10 a day on this. So Indeed, sometimes we'll use Facebook ads. Sometimes we'll use a free one to where we just join local community groups and we put a post out that says we're hiring and how much we pay and what the description is. And then we'll just go in the local groups and just share it to everybody. So there's a couple of free ways. Indeed works really well if you have some money to spend. We just, again, do $10 a day, and that typically, we let that run for maybe 15 days and we'll get around maybe 100 to 125 applicants. So from there, what we do is we transition into a phone interview. Now, the phone interview is a very important step in the process, because this is what the last thing you want to do is waste your time with a candidate that is not eligible to work for you. Okay, so there's certain key questions that we ask in the interview to depict if this is someone we want to come out for an in-person interview, or if we're like, hey, you're just not a good fit, you don't meet our requirements. Now, what are those specific requirements? Well, number one, are they at least 21 years of age? So our auto insurance only accepts people that are 21 years old. I know there's other auto insurance that do 18, but ours is 21, okay? So they have to be 21 years old to be a driver, which all of our employees are drivers. We do not hire somebody without a driver, because if somebody calls off sick or that driver's not here, I need that crew member, even though they're all the same rank, to step up into the driver's seat and drive. Now, so are you at least 21 years of age? Do you have a reliable vehicle for transportation is another one we ask. Do they have any misdemeanors or felonies on their record? So again, you know, we've we've gone down that path before of hiring people with backgrounds. In fact, a couple of our team members actually right now do have some backgrounds. But as you grow and scale, you definitely want to keep those in mind, because there are times where that could come back and kind of affect your business. If somebody has a few charges of assault on their record and they assault somebody while on the clock, you're going to be responsible for that. If somebody has burglary on their record and a couple of counts for that, and maybe they said that that they've changed, but under your watch they're going in your customers' backyards and they take stuff, you're going to be ultimately responsible for that. So keep that in mind. Obviously they need a valid driver's license, and then we do ask them, are you eligible, or would you be able to pass a pre-employment drug test, because we are a drug-free work zone. So some of those basic questions we hash out in the phone interview questions. Again, nothing too long, like a 3-4 minute call when you get them on. You don't want to waste a lot of time, because you're going to have a huge volume of people, right? So if we go from this, okay, again, if you're looking at the funnel, and this is kind of where we need to get to pick our kind of top 1-2%, all right, up here you got about 125 applicants coming through the pipe. If you spent 5 minutes, let me see. If you spent 5 minutes for every single applicant that came down the pipe on that, so that would be 10 hours. You would spend all day doing that. How do we condense that in a very quick, efficient manner to streamline the process? Okay, speed over accuracy, especially when you're growing and scaling. Okay, so 125 applicants, we get it down. Again, just prerequisite. Now from there, we typically will probably book, I would say, maybe about 25%. I would say about 25% of that will actually come through and will book the in-person interview. Now, what does that mean? Roughly 31 applicants actually make it through that top layer. Let me change this. So now we're down here to 31 applicants. Now, during this stage, what you'll realize if you've done any more than probably 2 interviews in your life is, and I don't mean that to be like, I say that with a lot of pain, because I've had quite a few of interviews that are booked and yeah, not a lot show up. So if you've done more than a couple, you kind of know that not all of them show up. So out of 30, typically about a third of that will actually show up for the interview. So let me put a line here, and then we'll say from 31, about 10. Now, what I would tell you is this moment right here, this pivotal moment that you go from 31 to 10. I think this is where the biggest opportunity is for all of our businesses. And what do I mean by that? Hey guys, wanted to take a quick second here. So I don't ask or promote anything on this channel or sell anything directly to you guys. I provide this value completely free to you, and hopefully it helps grow and achieve greater success in your business. But what I wanted to ask from you is if you could click that subscribe button and share this video with someone, an entrepreneur in the lawn care industry that you feel could benefit from this content. More importantly, it may change someone's future. We'll see you guys here in a bit. How do we increase this bottom number as best as possible? And the way that we do that, because I was sick and tired of people not showing up to our interview, you have to understand, put yourself in their shoes, right? They go on Indeed and they blast out 25 they blast out their resume to 25 people. They apply to 25 different jobs. Okay, 10 of them will probably call them. They'll be like, sit through the phone interview. Yeah, I'll pass a drug test, all that stuff, right? And then what happens? They maybe just pick 1 or 2 of the really ones that they like, and then they go out. Now, how do we become the 1 or 2 that they really like? Here's how. So we will send them a video of myself talking about our core benefits to our company, which is pay for performance. You can come to our company and for the same position that you're applying for, typically make anywhere from $21 to $27 an hour. That gets their ears perked if you say that. Also, we're a faith-based company, we'll never work on Sundays. That gets their ear perked. Wow, it seems like they might care about their team and their customers. Okay, we also have a second location we just started. There's growth opportunities within the ranks to become managers. Don't just come here to have a job, come here to have a career. Boom, another ears perk, right? So that's what I'm saying in this video is, hey, welcome. We're excited to see you at the interview. Here is 30 seconds summed up of why we are the best company and why you should show up for our interview, okay? And that will hopefully increase this from 10 to maybe 15, maybe 20, all right? But that's where the opportunity lays. Now, number 4, once they actually show up for the interview, there is a 2-part process on the interview that we do, all right? So number 1 is, well, I guess I wouldn't be number 1, it would be 4A. We'll do A. So A is questions. So this is the in-person questions, and then B is hands-on portion. Now, there's 2 reasons, there's a couple reasons why we do this stuff. So the questions, all I'm trying to figure out, there's about 15 questions that we go through, and all I'm trying to figure out is this person humble, hungry, and smart? Now, when I say humble, are they coachable? Do they not let their pride or ego get in their way? I cannot work with somebody or coach and cultivate them to allow them to grow if their pride or ego is too much in front of them. If they come over and I got 10 years of experience, I've been doing this since I was 15. Okay, that's great, but we've been doing our lawns for 4 years and we've done thousands of them and we have found the fastest, most efficient way. So if you're not willing to be trained and coached to our way, how are you going to succeed and excel here? And the answer is they're not. So they must be humble. This is the most important attribute. They must be humble. I can teach somebody how to mow a lawn. I can't teach somebody how to take criticism or coaching very well, right? Number 2, are they hungry? At the end of the day, they gotta want it. Do they ask questions? When you get to the end of the question and you say, do you have any questions for me? And they don't say anything, do they really want it? Or are they just looking for a job, right? The hungry ones are gonna say, how do I make more P for P? Where can I learn about this education? You talk about profit sharing. What kind of profits do we get? Like, are they getting bought into what's happening in your organization? All right. And then number 3 is, are they smart? And I don't mean book smart. I don't mean memorization smart. I mean, are they emotionally intelligent? Can they understand when a customer is upset? Can they understand when a team member is upset? This is one of the hardest ones to depict in an interview. I would say these are the 2 that you're really gonna wanna be able to confidently say, yes, this person's humble, yes, this person's hungry. During the interview process, if you get those checks, typically that'll kind of either hash out or you'll figure that out down the road. But these are the 2 main ones that you definitely want. Are they humble? Are they hungry? Now, number 2, hands-on. Why do we do the hands-on portion? Because I need to see if they're at least somewhat physically capable of doing the job. Okay, I've done quite a few interviews in my time, and sometimes when I'll have a guy out here, and it doesn't even need to be long, like literally all I want to see him do is weed eat. Something super simple, super easy. Hey, I just want you to weed eat around this flower bed. Something quick and easy, right? And what I've noticed is sometimes when people work office jobs their whole life or indoors, or they're not like physically capable for the job, when they're pulling the pull cord, like number 1, they don't pull it like hard enough, and it takes them like after like, and I don't really, I just stand there and watch. I just monitor, I'm analyzing. Obviously, if they're struggling too much, I'll step in and help them. But sometimes I've found that some people have a really hard time of starting a weed eater. If they're having this much trouble starting the weed eater and pulling the cord hard enough for it to start, they're probably not going to be a good fit physically for the job. So that's why we do this 2-part component right here. We want to make sure they're humble and smart. We want to know they're physically capable for the job. Now, after that, number 5, once we are done with that, now I left off a key part on accident. When they do come out and ask these questions, I guess here, let's go C. So C would be fill out an application, an official application for the job. Now what this is going to do is going to give you your references, all right? And what we tell them when we hand them the application is, number 1, got to write legibly so we can see it. But number 2, on the second page, it asks for 3 references. We are not looking for your mom, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, and your neighbor for references. What will help build your case is if you put down professional references, previous bosses that you worked for, previous companies, previous employees, maybe team members that you've been able to work with for a period of time. Because when we call those references, that is going to build your case better, because we have multiple people going through this hiring process and you want to build the best case you can possible for yourself. So, number 5, if we like the person, if they're humble and hungry, if they're physically capable, if they have glowing references, actually call the references, and if they don't put the reference, then go back to their employment history and call those companies and figure out who was their manager. And when you call them, they're reliable, always on time, they never call off, they're very communicative. I always ask one simple question at the end when I'm talking to a manager who used to be over somebody as a reference. I say, would you rehire him tomorrow if he came back, him or her? And if they say yes, 99% of the time, I would probably rehire him, as long as there's no red flags. But that's like the one question that we ask. And then number 5, as long as all this checks out and we're good to go, then what we do is we offer them the job. Now, once we offer them the job, very simple. We put together kind of a more official piece of paper that just says, hey, we're officially offering you the position as a lawn care specialist at Military Lawn Cuts. And so what we do, now a lot of people think this is where it ends, but the reality is this is where it begins. And so with that, this whole next process, and I can do a whole nother video on this if you guys want. I'm not going to get too deep into it. If you want me to do another video on this stuff, getting into the orientation and training, let me know in the comments below. I'm not going to do it if there's not many people asking for it. If there is, I will definitely go into our process, maybe show you some of the PowerPoints and training and all that stuff. But orientation and training, I cannot tell you how many times guys come over to me in our company and they just say, hey man, like, the old company that I used to work for, they just hired me, gave me a shirt, put me up in a truck, and sent me on my way on day 1. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen here. We're going to, on your first day, we're going to take you through our orientation process, which is we're going to walk you around the premise of our property. We're going to show you where the equipment goes, show you where the trucks go, show you where you're going to be working. We're going to show you our mission, our vision, our goals. We're going to sit you down and go through PowerPoints to explain to you that you are important and part of our team, and that we can't do what we're doing without you. And although you're working for us, I'm here to work for you and to serve you and to put you first, right? So this is the orientation process that needs to be very deliberate in your approach, because this is first impressions. When they first come to orientation, what are they seeing? What are they doing, right? These are all the questions you need to ask yourself. What is the training like? Too often, lack of quality, customer complaints, and cancellation and retention of customers all boils down to training. And if you have high number of yellow slips coming down the pipe, and you have customers that are complaining and 1-star reviews and customers that are leaving, it is your fault because you're not thorough enough on your training process. What does that look like? Are you showing them a diagram of the rotation around the property that they should be walking? Are you showing them a very concise 30-second video, not this 10-minute, 15-minute video that puts them to sleep? Guys, we live in an era that people are consumed with bite-sized pieces like TikToks and YouTube Shorts. So why are we trying to train our team members with a 15-minute video when really all they would really care about is the key nuggets, key points? Why don't you condense that 15-minute video into a 30-second short and sum up the key points to train? Like, all of these things is something that we deliberately think about when we're doing our training process. Are they going out with someone who is the role model employee here at your company that doesn't get any yellow slips, that makes $30 on P4P? That is who they need to go out and literally do nothing else but physically watch them mow 1 or 2 lawns. Show them what right looks like first before you go out and put them on any type of piece of equipment. This is the type of stuff that you guys need to do for your training program. And with that being said, this is our hiring process from start to finish. And like I said, don't forget, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of when you actually offer the job to that employee to start with your organization. If you found value in this video, please make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with someone else. They don't even need to be in lawn care, right? This goes for any service-based industry business. But yeah, hopefully this helps, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.